Hi everyone. I am excited to be here with you today to train you in food safety management. I have been working in the field of occupational health, safety, and environment management for more than 10 years, and I have a passion for helping people learn and grow. I am here today to share my knowledge and experience with you and to help you develop the skills and knowledge you need to be successful in your role. I recently delivered food safety training to a group of senior managers at the Utility Stores Corporation of Pakistan, a government owned multinational corporation. The participants included the managing director, general manager of HR and finance, and zonal and regional managers. This training is important because Utility Stores Corporation of Pakistan is a major retailer of food and other essential goods in Pakistan. By educating their senior managers on food safety, Utility Stores Corporation of Pakistan is demonstrating its commitment to provide safe and healthy food to its customers. The participants were engaged and enthusiastic throughout the training and they asked many thoughtful questions. I am confident that they will be able to use the information they learned to improve food safety practices at Utility Stores Corporation of Pakistan head office. I am grateful for the opportunity to have delivered this important training to USCOP's senior management team. I am confident that it will help a positive impact on the safety of the food that Utility Stores Corporation of Pakistan sells to its customers. I know that everyone has different learning styles, so I will try to use a variety of teaching methods in my training. I will also encourage participations and discussions. So please feel free to ask questions and share your knowledge and experiences with me. I'm confident that by the end of this training, you will have the knowledge and skills you need to be successful in your role as a store manager in any food chain organization. I'm looking forward to working with you all today. So, gentlemen, a smile is the shortest distance between two people. Yes, if you feel positive, you will be positive, and your outcome in any task you perform will be positive. Key learning points of the training. So, gentlemen, for today, I am going to explain you first of all in part one the introduction to the food safety. In this section, I will explain what is actually the food is and what does the safe food mean and how food becomes unsafe when contaminants added to it. Then we will discuss about the types of the contaminations and causes of the contamination as well. In the second part, I will explain you basically the prevention of all these contaminations, how to prevent the contaminations. This is very important because once you will be able to understand the context of the food safety and the contamination which affect our food, you need to make it prevent from all the contamination and you need to know how the prevention can be made possible. In the third segment, basically, I will explain you how you can ensure a safe food through good management practices. First of all, I will explain you the food operators obligations. Then we will discuss about food storage facility selections and then food items inventory control. We will also talk about the importance of the record keeping and then food items inventory management tools as well. I will inshallah brief you. So, gentlemen, here what is food? Just scratch your head, think over it, and make a answer in your mind. So here comes the food. Basically, Any substance, either it is liquid or solid, used to produce energy in living organisms is called food. So it may be anything which is used to produce energy in your body. You know that energy is very important to keep your life going on. So from where we get this energy? We get this energy from the food. Why is this energy required by all the living organisms? Just think over it. So these are the reasons that we need to use food to produce energy for us. Number one, energy supports growth. Our body cannot grow without food. And if we take unsafe food, our growth may be affected. In the meantime, as we know that our lifestyles nowadays are very outdated. And due to this lifestyle, there so many breakage happened into our body. So we need healthy food to keep it repair time to time. And also our vital function gets energy from this food to function properly. Here comes a question for you people. So just think over it, that is water a food or not? And then you can reply at the end. Now we talk about the safe food. First, we discussed about what actually the food is. Now we are going to discuss about the safe food. Just see this, that the safe food is basically that food which is free from contaminants. We will discuss about what are those contaminants which are threat to our safe food in detail in coming slides. So safe food will not cause any illness, harm or injury to any person or any consumer. If you are working in any food chain organization, you need to ensure that your food is always safe. Just
What
watch
is
this
safe
video.
food? Food is safe when it is not contaminated with dangerous substances or germs that can make people sick, like different microbes, pesticides, and residues of veterinary drugs or glass or stones. Farmers, food producers, and vendors help keep our food safe, all the way. And what should you do at home? Let's see some examples. Wash your hands properly with soap before and often during food preparation. Thaw food in the refrigerator or in cold water, as microbes can multiply very quickly. Don't wash raw poultry and other meats. Washing doesn't remove microbes and can even spread them to hands, surfaces, utensils, or other food. Don't eat food that dropped on the floor, as slightest contact with microbes can transfer them to it. When food is safe, you are healthy. Food safety is in your hands.
Now we discuss the food safety and the management of the food. So basically, food safety refers to the conditions and practices that preserve the quality of food to prevent contaminations and foodborne illnesses. So, as we will discuss in coming slides about the contaminations and the contaminants, so for the food to be ensured that it is safe, we make sure that uh, all contaminants should not be added into our food. So, all the practices and conditions which we ensure to make the food safe are come into the food safety. Then how uh, uh, we can manage the safe food? So management refers to tools that helps to track stock levels, orders and sales during your uh, stay at your food store. Why to ensure food safety? Just think over it in your mind and just watch this video to.
Amongst us, in our homes and close to the food we eat, live some mysterious, tiny, yet extremely energetic creatures. Much smaller. These are microorganisms, extremely small living beings. There are three different types of microorganisms. The good ones help to produce foods and drinks such as cheese and yogurt, fermented meat, and fermented vegetables. Some other microorganisms are annoying. These are the bad ones. They are responsible for the foul smell, bad taste, and repulsive look of rotting food. But they normally don't cause diseases. But it's the other kinds of microorganisms that we really need to be afraid of. They don't cause food to smell bad, and they don't change the way it looks. They are the dangerous ones, and it's necessary to be very careful with them. These are known as pathogenic microorganisms, and they can cause severe illnesses such as stomach pains, vomiting, diarrhea, fever, and even death. They're deceitful, invisible, and dangerous. These tiny beings are very, very prolific. To increase in number, they need food, water, time, and warmth. They can multiply very quickly. Fortunately, no matter how strong and frightening these microorganisms are, they are preventable and vulnerable.
Now, coming on to the next slide, I will discuss about the rationale behind food safety, that why it is important to make sure that our food is safe at our stores. So, according to WHO, around 600 million people become ill and 4,20,000 die each year from foodborne diseases. Number two, losses in productivity and trade and treatment costs amounts to US $110 billion annually, mainly in low and middle income countries. Because in middle and low income countries, the food is not properly saved, practices are not properly followed, and people become ill. And when they go to the hospitals for treatments and other trade losses which they have to face are amounting about to $110 billion annually. The third reason behind food safety is the global trade in food products has tripled in the last decade, reaching US 1.7 trillion by 2015. So by day and day, the food trade is becoming more and more increased and enhanced. The global food supply chains have increased in complexity and a much greater range of products in traded internationally. Many developing countries have grown both their imports and exports, and the diversity of foods available to even the poorest countries has increased greatly because that their population has increased, so they have made automation to their food production. That's why even their food generation or food products have increased. In the long, complex supply chains, it's vital that food is kept safe, is of good quality, and is sustainable for consumption when it reaches the consumer. So these are few rationales behind that why we should ensure food safety. Now we will talk the threats and the risks which affect our foods, the contamination of the foods, danger to food safety. The contaminants are substances that have not been intentionally added to our food. So these are the items, these are the substances, these are the things which added to our food but unintentionally. Food production processes can lead to substances entering the food at any moment during manufacturing, handling, storage, processing, or distribution. So this is not only one thing that the contaminants can be added into our food, but they can be added unintentionally at any stage of processes like during manufacturing process or handling or storage or any other process or distribution. These can be added. Contaminants can also enter the food from the environment as well. We will talk about the biological contaminants which are added to our food through environments. The presence of the such substances in food must be monitored carefully to avoid contaminations affecting the quality of the food or making the food unsafe. Types of the contaminations. So, what are the contamination types which we have to fight to make our food safe? Number one is physical contamination, second one is chemical contamination, and then is biological contamination. So, what are the physical contaminants? Contaminants are contaminations. So, these are the pieces of hair, pieces of glasses, pieces of plastics, pieces of scabs like white scratches from the human body, or rodents, or droppings, or flies, or bones from pieces of the dead insects, meat, fish, etc. So these are the physical contaminants which can be added into our food unintentionally at any stage during processing, during manufacturing, during distribution, during storage. They can be even seen through the naked eyes. The second one is chemical contamination. So these are the threats to our food, like pesticides sprayed on fruits or vegetables can affect our food safety. Freezers, refrigerants, these are the gases which can make our food unsafe. Drugs, food additives, and chemicals from the cleaning products and metals or non-food cookware and storage, etc. are the chemical threats are the risks to our food which make our food unsafe. Now we talk the most dangerous contaminants to our food that are the biological contaminations which are added to our food unintentionally through the environments. So these are bacteria, viruses, molds, fungi, and parasites. What are the bacterias? Bacterias are single-celled organisms which multiply by cell divisions under appropriate environmental conditions. The conditions that influence bacterial growth are the food itself, acidity, time, temperature, oxygen, and moistures. So these are the favorable conditions for the bacteria to grow. That if you provide them for a long time, if you save the food for a long time, our food is acidic, or temperature is not maintained, or due to the oxygen deficiency and moisture is present, then bacteria can grow there. Most bacteria need nutrients to survive. They obtain these nutrients from the food. Bacteria grow best in food that is neutral to slightly acidic. What are the viruses? So these are the other types of the biological contaminants to our food. These are the smallest known organisms. They cannot multiply in food. They need a human host. Viruses are transmitted to food from the infected people. So we know that when someone touch that surface which is contaminated, and then if the same person will touch the food, it can affect that food as well through viruses. Molds are the another type of the biological contaminants. These are a multicellular fungi that reproduce by fruit, fruiting bodies that break and release thousands of the microscopic molds spores. Each capable of growing under the right conditions, molds can send roots into the food to provide nourishment to the spores. Molds prefer damp, dark environments for the optimal growth, and they grow readily on almost any food, as well as walls, ceilings, and other areas of the high moistures. Some molds produce toxins that can cause illness. So these are another type of the biological contaminants which can be added in through our environments. So these also need a specific environment to grow. Like there must be dark, there must be moisture, walls and ceiling, etc. And they will grow there and can affect our food. Parasites. These includes worms and protozoa. They cannot multiply in food. They multiply in a host cell like viruses in human body. Now we will talk about the cross contamination, that how our food is contaminated. So it is in contact with hands, surfaces, equipments, and raw food could contaminate cooked food. When some a person contact with his hand to a surface which is contaminated already, and then he will touch the equipment and the raw food, then he can transmit the contaminants from his hand to that food, and even that food can be dangerous after cooking as well. Now we will talk about the causes of the contaminations. So number one cause is cross contamination, which already I have explained you that it is done when some person touches the surface which is contaminated through any contaminants like biological contaminants, and then the same person touches to the food, then these contaminants transmit from the human to the food. Poor personal hygiene is another reason for the for the contaminations. We will discuss in detail in coming slide about the personal hygiene. Improper clean and sanitation is another reason for food contaminations. Time and temperature abuse is also the main reasons for the food contamination, and we will discuss in coming slides about the time and temperature abuse. So these are the examples of the poor personal hygiene. Like in first picture you can see the contaminated, the dirty hands which can transmit bad and unhygienic contaminants to our food. In the second picture you can see the dirty nails which can affect the food safety. In the third picture the dress is not properly cleaned, and then fourth picture you can see the attitude and behavior of the person which is smoking and can affect the food safety. Then if someone is injured, that can transmit the contaminants to food as well. Improper clean and sanitation. If you do not ensure your utensils, your equipment properly cleaned with proper detergents and proper virus virus removal liquids, then it can affect your food safety. Now we will talk